are those moments for some of the world's most influential leaders. It was a rough and tumble world. And I thought, okay, I can rise up. I can play this. to be as wide open in the back half of 2026 as it has in the front half.
Stocks so far this year up 25%. Morgan Stanley and Goldman have done really well given the backdrop for capital markets. Let's turn back to our top story on Wall Street. Investors are waiting the debut of SK Hynix on the Nasdaq today following a volatile stretch for chipmaker. Jonathan Krinsky at BTIG writing, as US markets get ready to track a new mega-cap semi, we remain cautious given the plethora of warning signs in recent weeks. Jonathan joins us now for more. Jonathan, welcome. Good to catch up with you. The warning signs, what have you seen in recent weeks?
Yeah, so I think the only thing more impressive than the performance of semiconductors of late has been that volatility. And we've seen, a host of signals that historically have been quite negative for the semis. So if we go back to June 16th of this year, you had a down 3% day for the stocks immediately following a 52-week high. That's been a pretty bearish signal over the last decade or so. Then on June 28th, you had a negative 7% week immediately following a positive 7% week. So kind of a whiplash on a weekly basis. We last saw that in March of 2000 at the dead highs of the dot-com bubble. And then yesterday was the 15th day in the last 30 trading days where the stocks has moved at least 3% in either direction, so up or down. The last time we saw that was again in the February to July 2000 period in the immediate aftermath of the dot-com peak. And then finally, we had a 3% up day that closed, there's a little bit technical, but it closed above its 50 and 200-day moving average, but below its 20-day moving average. And what that does, that isolates periods where you've seen a big rally or within a primary uptrend. And when you look historically, that has led to some significant drawdowns. 95, 2000, 2004, 2007, 2020, and most recently July of 2024. So you kind of add all these up, and it really just paints a picture that this increase in volatility is something that historically has meant further downside for the sector.
The sector went parabolic. You noted that several times over the last several months. You became cautious on the semiconductors. Jonathan, just looking at things and how they've corrected, we've come in now based on the recent rally. We're down about 11%, I think, from the June 22 high. You told us maybe a month or so ago that we would see an equal and opposite correction in that particular index. So with that in mind, is that still the case, Jonathan? And how much downside do you think there is?
Yeah, I think that's still the case. I think we held the 50-day, thought we might get a little bounce there, but I think there's still 20 to 25% downside for the index broadly. If you look at something like the precious metals, which went parabolic in a similar fashion at the end of January, it's only 5 months removed from that, and the silver's down 50% and is in a pretty strong medium-term downtrend, right? So I think people have short memories, and I think
this 15-minute session line that I gave you guys last night to be aware about is doing its job. So is true algo though. So price action can't break and close above our true algo box. And then also can't close above that 15-minute session line. When it does, longs will be strong. So right now, the system and everything is doing its job. US 30 is neutral. SQQQ is in a bullish confirmation. This is the bigger deal right now, where SQQQ is telling us to look for reasons to short markets right now. So SQQQ is long, meaning we look for shorts on index futures. Really, really important for us to be aware of. Check over here on the SPY and QQQ side of things. So at the moment, SPY is actually telling us to be bullish right there. We have that bullish confirmation with the box. We're going to target something like this. Good morning. As you're coming in, appreciate you guys being here. The QQQ is bearish. So just a note right now that the QQQ is bearish. SPY is bullish. This is conflict, meaning not a good time to be in any trades right now. Yeah, right now I only have it on the YouTube side of things, LV. So you are in the correct place. US 30 is in the tougher position, or Russell right now is the only index that's firm that we actually can be in. This is the average move that we're looking for right now on Russell. It's a profit looks great. The stop loss is actually there. If you go against the play more all the way up to here before we stop out of the position. So potentially get something like this for New York and then push down like so. So we could be looking for right now. That would fit what the RWM is, the opposite of Russell. So that would be what this is saying. The only positive about the Russell short is it's what the SPQP is telling us is, and the SPQP is long, so it's telling us to look for this short. And so finally, on the stock side of things, Amazon is neutral right over here, flat, hasn't hit anything, so it's telling us to do nothing. Apple right here is telling us to look for calls at open, so it supports being bullish. Microsoft is also supporting calls from here and still supporting calls all the way up to finish. But Microsoft will most likely hit this box in the 25 minutes because we cancel it out unless it can place a button. So just at the moment, it's going to put on this just bullish versus bearish stocks. And then NVIDIA over here on the left side of the screen is the same as Amazon. Completely flat, neutral. Flat is in it has not hit a box yet. So it's not sure what to do. So we have two stocks that match exactly what the S or what ES says where it's flat. It's not sure. And then the others that are bullish right here, Microsoft already hit that box. And now Microsoft is also neutral here. Kind of see the book.
Now I feel something. I don't even. Oh, that's not here. Stop. Okay, okay. Let's fix this. Swap out English home. Cool, screenshots look good, but the lifestyle. He was in the trenches, really building through the Boston. Little risk management before I ever saw rocks. Now it's last week's game, played a market breakdown. Living by slide, stay down. Flow data, levels mapped out. Great sense, tension got the whole team faced out. I think the man, bro, just a cool, I got a source. I'm ready to One good system with discipline enough to change your whole life when the pressure gets up. That's why the old man bring it in against cold on the rain. It's about faith. It's about the confidence get raised. From beginner to advance, every lesson getting brave. It's the people fire. That's the main greatness made. Culture over noise, yeah, we moving with a plan.
Yeah, so we blew our account last week. I'm back here trying again. TPT 50K started yesterday. See what we can do here with the 50% consistency rule. Gonna just hit 50% target today. It's 5 days to pass. Oh, I mean, I have been hedging myself with options, so get a little bit of rebate back. Whereas the dealers do the opposite. They try to stay in delta neutral in options, and they hedge their positions with futures. Yeah, but we'll be seeing with the lots of new data. Got some real time SPX 0DTE SPX data. So that won't be available until the open, which is 8:30 Central Time, 9:30 New York. Another 20 minutes here before we can access them.
One bad trade turn the winner to a stealer. That's why I move calm. We're we don't sell. Pressure start building, everybody overtraded. I'm just watching how they feel it. Got brave, work sharp, and the moment started feeling how the levels lined up. Really confidence, feeling got the noise up to structure our religion, just off the golden shit, turn things into tuition. I don't want to play for it, different from the structure over noise. You with it's beautiful. We ain't rushing for the plan. Let's rush.
Actually short the euro, and that's going really well. So this is still valid. I'll put it here. TXY. Meaning long, weekday, we've had or euro, pound, Austin, New Zealand. I mean, they're looking for those. There we go. And last but not least, our crypto friends. Ethereum right now is trending bullish above our daily system. Bitcoin is starting its bullish trend, but Tether is the issue, crypto folks. So Bitcoin is valid long with ETH right now. Trying to travel up to this next box. ETH's already gotten to that next box, but the biggest issue is right here. Tether is the issue right now. Tether flows below our box, then crypto push up aggressively. So Tether is the issue right now. You can see True Algo held it perfectly to the T right there at the end. We need this to close under, and then the longs will go up much higher. Right now, Tether is telling me to stop, crypto folks. I'm gonna start writing some notes down real quick. Russell should still be replacing the line. No, it's holding all still. All right, I'm gonna write some notes inside the Discord. So if you guys have questions, feel free to ask. So ES is neutral. NQ is bullish. US 30 is neutral. May confirm long on the 10-15 or the 9-15 first. And then Russell is bearish. SQQQ is bullish, meaning look for shorts. All I'm doing is writing down what I'll discuss with everybody. So
There is a divergence right now. SPX took the highs here from the yeah, hit the highs here, where NQ did not. So possibly NQ at the open could go up and grab those highs. We just go back and rebalance. We don't know when, but it's like NQ has been manipulating.
Apple's bullish. Those stocks aren't very helpful at the moment. Silver is long with ESL. Gold is neutral, stuck today. Oil is neutral. DXY is bullish, meaning look for shorts. Actually, I can just copy that note quicker. And then crypto, BTC, and ETH are bullish, but Tether is stuck at our box. Us to stop here. With Tether to close below now, and then we can trim higher on crypto. But right now, we see stop and take profit. I think I got everything covered now on the notes section. All right, there's that next close. This is the last close before New York opens. We do have US 30 has now changed. US 30 is in a bullish confirmation, but I just want to show you guys like how to navigate this. This is what our stats say we should be looking for right here in the stat box. You can see the stop loss actually is great. It's the telling us the stop loss would be in the average area. The problem is the take profit is not there. The take profit is going to be when this box gets hit first. Then you can try to net that average win of 147 points. So this is a poor risk to reward position on US 30. But on top of this, there's not many other assets that are also supporting us to go long. And so you have the only assets that are telling us that the longs would be good on US 30 are SPY and the NQ. But the NQ is potentially about to turn and flip bearish. And the Russell is bearish too. And SPY is in conflict with itself. So I'm write a little note here that this is poor risk reward. And the probability is low, is going to win. I can activate the YouTube stream or the over here as well. Just give me a second. Get it set up. Check. Let me know if so should be still good on both Discord and the YouTube side of things then. Try to drop that in the chat over here for you YouTube folks. You guys can click that. It'll let you join over on the Discord side with no delay. Evan, welcome. LB Vibes JS. Can you guys hear and see okay? Yeah, there's always like a 10 or 12-second delay on YouTube, but sweet. All right. Yeah, so hopefully you guys got what I was saying, but the US 30 idea longs are not a good idea yet. Marius, I appreciate you, man. I hope you're doing well. You guys see, now US 30 can flip this position. It can, the probability can still be low, but at least we can shift the risk reward profile to be better if we can close around here. Because then at least shift it above a 1.3, 1.6 R. We want to be closer to 1.8 to 2.0, and that would get us there. Right now, this is what it's looking for. Just want to make sure everyone knows that this is a poor risk reward play and the probability is low. The reason why the probability is low is because it doesn't have support from the other assets that also say to go long right now. And that's why it's retracing currently. We want to be able to predict that. We don't want to, everyone wants to win every play, but you have to also know when, even though a system tells you a play, you take a play, that doesn't mean the play is a good idea to take, especially in a live environment. Russell now is almost back to the entrance area. Reminder that the Russell play, even though it doesn't have support, like the US 30 longs right now, it at least has better risk reward on the play. The stop's a little bit wider than we want, but the play still looks overall well. Like again, if you got in here too, you're at 2.24 risk reward on average. The stocks still aren't sure what they want to do. Neither are SPY and QQQ, which are super important. Microsoft could actually tell us to go short here, right at open. You guys see how the stocks aren't sure though? Again, Amazon is neutral. NVIDIA is neutral. That's 2 out of 4. Apple's long and retracing right now. And then Microsoft is still neutral. It just might potentially can put in shorts if it closes bearish. But right now that candle's green, so we're getting neutral off of the box. Silver, you guys are still running into that session line. You need to break and close above 60.255, what I gave you last night, or silver won't go any higher. Silver needs to close above 60.255 from the session levels, or else it will not go higher. There we go. So everybody's good. You guys can hear on YouTube. So here the Dale well, I can't talk. Dale, welcome. The NQ right now is bullish right here, center of the screen, but you can only take a long on the NQ if the ES is also long. The ES is neutral, so we can't long the NQ yet. So I'll put that a note here for you. NQ is long, but the ES is neutral, meaning we cannot long NQ yet. We need the ES to also match the NQ. This is how we raise the probability in our favor. You're welcome, no. I'll keep you posted on it though. US 30 retracing back up now. We got about 8 minutes before the New York Open. I'm back to my normal setup, everybody. So I appreciate you hanging out with me today. Let me know if there's any audio issues or video issues, and I'll look for ways to improve. But everything to be back to normal. It's nice. I missed it. It was nice to get away with the family for a little bit, but I missed doing this. Actually, I need to check something real fast to see if there's anything else we can remove. Thinking where so far this month, we still really haven't gone anywhere. The NQ is the only one that's telling us to be long from like a monthly perspective. So I want to make sure you guys haven't missed this yet. If you were to quickly, you got time. Failing it like there we go. If we were to turn the weekly and the daily system off real fast. I just want to show you guys real fast. It's actually we'll do the week's about to end, but the chances that the NQ still is telling us to be long from the monthly system right now. It's still holding. See that bullish longs from the blue box, and so there's just a potential that the NQ is going to still remain bullish for the month of July and not be bearish. We use that monthly to help swing and have a better perspective long term, and when to be aggressive in longs or be aggressive in shorts. So the monthly still is telling us to be bullish on the NQ. Russell's going a little bit more in our favor now, about to hit the initial entrance zone. Five minutes before the close. Microsoft is back to pushing down bearish. Nvidia is their bigger mover right now. We're about 3 minutes away from the 28-minute mark, and that's when Apple and Microsoft will usually tend to pick up their volatility right before open. I'll keep coming back there. Just again, the goal is to help predict where New York wants to go right at the opening of that candle. So the ES is going to want to come down to 75.90. The NQ is right on it. US 30, we want to watch 52.833. So let's just stay with these. Notate this is a different thing. So New York Open is going to want to test 52.833 on US 30. Right there. You guys can see that it's starting to push down harder now. New York's going to want to test that. And then the ES is really close to it. Both the ES and the NQ, I mean, they're literally on it, so it's not going to help. Silver's pushing down even harder now from the session line, beating that play up. Almost to that 28-minute mark. Does look like the euro is going to finish fully playing out. This would support the shorts on the SQ and index is looking bearish. Again, crypto folks, I can't stress enough this note with tether right there telling us to stop. US 30 is back testing that intra-session line that I gave you guys. Here's the 28-minute mark. Should see there's the uptick on Apple and Microsoft that I talked to you guys about. Apple, if it closes red here, below this box, Apple's gonna flip into shorts. Now, this is a good thing for Russell because Russell is short. It's a bad thing for US 30 because US 30 is long, but remember I told you the US 30 long is a bad idea. So that helps support you guys to not get eaten up in the play. But it does look like Microsoft is gonna commit to shorts, write it open. The longs off for Apple. Amazon might get into longs now above the box. Reminder, those stock features coming in this month. So if you want to start trading stock features, which I know a lot of brokers are going to start adding just because the CME's adding them, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of volatility, man. You got to be able to really roll with it if you're going to dabble in that. And then the New York Open is coming here in less than a minute now. "30 seconds. And then those of you guys that are on YouTube, just again, try to always let me know if you need to see anything specific or help on specific assets so I can help you. There's the New York Open. US 30 still in longs. That Russell can take all the way back to the box now. Still have a lot of conflict on the chart with PPQ being bearish, SPY being bullish. So we're just in a chop zone. And that's what I was talking to you guys about on US 30. How quickly it came down. That's the exact stop loss too. It wicked and held it, but again, now wait for this candle to close and you might have a better opportunity to get into the long. But now you guys are seeing live why I told you it was a bad idea. That's part of the reason why I'm here to help you know when things are low probability like this and the risk reward is 4 and now you see 1. So sometimes that's my goal, just to miss losses rather than only trying to get wins.
All right.
So
The open has arrived.
to be right on that. I know
Here
it's
we
good
go.
if you were
Let's look at our option chain. Look at our levels.
seeing a nice divergence so
And
far
switch to
where Russell
the session.
here pushing down and the other index are pushing up. This is helping carrying Russell as of right now. SPY is still being correct. SPY is still doing a really good job for the past week and a half about leading the markets in the correct direction.
Here's our IB levels from yesterday as well.
Right now is reloading before SQQQ flips short, and if SQQQ flips short, then longs are good. That's why I'm still
there.
still the same. Silver it's done. Gold confirmed bearish just now, but silver's in our box, so there's no play on gold and silver. Oil's actually in a long position. It's just dealing with our trend box right now. Oil is long. Let me update that for everybody. So profit is almost the average, and stop loss is actually smaller than the average. So it's a decent risk reward. Gold and silver can't do anything. Nvidia going very bullish. Microsoft retracing against the idea. Apple did not confirm bearish. Apple confirmed bullish. Amazon's calls are already done. Stocks all moving in similar directions except for Apple, but they are divergent from our boxes from each other. So stocks still aren't sure. Russell's short starting to go more in our favor. Bearish, but silver or potentially reverse bullish. So play on metals. Will.
So my NQ's trying to go fill that gap above. Yeah, the rebalance already right at the open.
Russell got to win. Again, just showing you the difference between the Russell short had real good or had decent risk to reward profile. US 30 calling that was a bad idea. And by the way, we just hit the exact target that I told you US 30 would go to for the open. Okay. The New York Open, we'll test this, and there you go. So it went really well on US 30. I hope that helped. There's Russell hitting my intersection line. Congrats on that. Nice win so far on Russell. Russell can't be a loss now.
75-15.
To protect your idea.
Oh, yeah, we're way up on
And
that.
this would be the full average.
Practically 5.
That'll be the next big take profit, but this can't be a loss. You can't let this play now retrace against you, take you out. Move yourself to break even to protect yourself. And for all of you guys that are here live with me, you see how we navigate whether Russell or US 30 was the better play. It's important, man, because like I get the question a lot from younger traders. And when I say younger, I don't mean like your age is younger. I just mean you being involved in markets is less with our system. That's all I mean. The younger traders with our system, they're trying to always evaluate which asset to play when you have multiple confirmations. And for me, there's 2 questions to always ask yourself. What's better? And then from there, you decide what's better. So question 1, what's the risk to reward? Question 2, what's the probability that the edge is in your favor? And so that's why Russell checked 1 box really easy. US 30 checked no boxes, and now you can see why US 30 failed. And that's what we want to be able to do. So I'll get this off the screen now. Again, that was a really good test of that open line. The ES has now gotten to our box. It's still neutral for the entire day, but at least finally now the ES has finally hit something. We'll see if it confirms out of this. SQQQ starting to get below our box. Let that US 30 forward, just so we can see what happened. That's a reminder. Russell, there's your full average win live, everybody, on Russell.
That's already grabbed the liquidity now. They're coming back to rotate now. Looking to rotate. Oh, nope, she went back up. Oh, wow. Yeah, that looks strong. The bulls look strong there.
And all we're doing is trying to create a probability with an edge in our favor. And that's all we can do in markets, guys. Especially when you're trying to navigate these things on live candles, where emotions have to stay intact. A lot of times is easier said than done, right? And so, yeah. SQQQ potentially going to flip bearish here after the first close for New York, which will support longs on the ES and NQ. We're still going to diverge on Russell and US 30 for the next, it's for the first 45 minutes in New York Open. So
Just the entry. It was
you didn't sweep
the
low.
bulls got absorbed.
Didn't sweep today's low yet. So
29,935. Oh man, that was it. That absorption would have hit my 50% target.
Goals to trade with them, not against them. Who's them? It's whoever you want it to be. Like people are always talking about market makers and whatever you want it to be, the brokers. You're all just trading against bots. That's all you're trading against with high frequency algorithms. So our goal is to move with them, it's not against them. We're not trying to beat them. You're not going to beat them long term. I'm here, I'm just typing it up first.
Gave me a second entry, missed it.
Sometimes I
Uh,
make random
pivot.
music noises to sort of fill the awkwardness. At least I feel like it's awkward. It might not be awkward for you guys watching. Almost done. Post.
You have to be so fast with these tick charts on especially NQ. I mean, with the Dow, it's somewhere
Beautiful.
tame.
You see US 30 starting to reverse off of that session line and that open test line. SQQQ holding the box too. And this is why we let boxes close. We don't chase price action. We have our plays before things are activated.
NQ grabbed the liquidity, rebalanced, and then used that liquidity to shoot back down. And there's another rebalance level that needs to be rebalanced at the bottom, the lows. There's
Yeah.
outside liquidity
And
from
all we're doing right now, guys, is just waiting for a
that
candle
was from Monday.
to evaluate if there's a new
Might be time
ES
to
is still
start
neutral, left
targeting
side of our
that.
screen. Now it can change if this current green candle, it's got almost 5 minutes. If it closes red, that'll be a short. But the only thing is, the only way to short the ES is just like we said before, it's got to match the NQ. So Dale, if you're still here, the only way to short the NQ, it has to close bearish below our Fox right here. Right now, the NQ is, that's why I have this on here. It's telling me to look for longs. Now you might be able to see live. If we can get below here, it has to hold in this area. Then it would be short. So I'll keep you guys posted. We still got 4 minutes left. The SPQQ supports us looking for shorts because the SPQQ is long. So I'll keep you guys posted. We'll keep checking back. Russell is the gift that keeps giving now. Remember, 134 is the average win. I told you guys up here it couldn't be a loss. And now it's netted 200 points. And then it is still going to be short until we get a bullish confirmation and do that. So congrats. Just keep trailing your stop as it goes. Maybe trail it by 15 points. And so Amazon's done on its calls. Apple, you can see Apple and Microsoft, man, clearing both sides of the chain right now. See that? Both sides. Microsoft still short. Apple neutral. Both sides of our system with a single candle. And Apple telling you to get out of the way. NVIDIA taking profit at the top of our box. Same thing with Amazon. It does look like the markets are going to set up for potential big shorts here, guys. You see that? I'm just trying to show you. Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4. All 4 of them are setting up monster shorts, which means Russell's going to go great. I just need these two to flip. Try to manage the multiple chat areas. There we go. You guys on the Discord side, because at least there's no delay. Did you guys see how I navigated the US 30 versus Russell? Yes or no? Just be honest. What you're confused, be honest about that. Again, trying to always look for ways to improve with you guys on a live setting. The goal is like, and as I talk to some of you guys, when it seems like some months are harder than others, is like just not being fearful. And that's where you have to be okay just not taking trades. Like you have to be okay with that. it's the literal opposite of traders. Traders do all their research, they find all their systems, everything they're going to use, and they're always looking for ways to get into trades. And instead, you should be looking always for reasons to not be in a trade. That's how you stop risking more than you can handle. And you'll stop being so bothered by loss after loss after loss. Once you start doing that, that risk reward always being the most important thing possible, when you have a play live on US 30 and Russell, and they're both confirm the opposite direction, and you're trying to figure out which one's the best one, it's like both of them could be terrible. But if one of them has the great risk reward compared to the other, then it should be a no-brainer which one should be the one to take. So that's all I was trying to show guys. We're just about to have this candle closed. There's not going to be any position. The ES is still neutral, guys, and the NQ is still long. We were talking about potential shorts, but you can see the candle's about to close green, so there are no shorts. There are no shorts. US 30 with the big old retracement back down here. I'm gonna get rid of this New York open. Press this. It's going. I've already done that. Oil retracing really hard against us right now. Reminder, guys, on oil. I told you 2 days ago that to stop being as aggressive on oil, that the daily and weekly system is going to be a little bit harder. Ever since we got up to that 73 target that I gave you guys on Sunday from starting the week down here. And now oil is, from a macro perspective, let me just show you guys so fast. True Algo is playing this beautifully from monthly to monthly now. And so it's wanting to head to monthly open for July is where it's headed. And that's why there should be way less aggression now on the daily system. All right, so we have a new close here, and things have changed. Microsoft still short like it was earlier, holding. NVIDIA actually ended up closing bullish, so that's conflict. So NVIDIA is bullish, Microsoft is bearish, Apple is neutral. You can see we've hit both sides of the box at one time. Amazon has shorts, and they're aggressively shorting right on the opening of the candle. So right now, weigh the options. 2 of them are short, one of them is in longs, and then one is neutral. So again, stocks are still not sure what they want to do. Russell folks, you can see True Algo is now starting to reverse live the Russell play and potentially can flip long. It's not long yet, but you can see the system is doing its job. Crypto folks, that's good news for you guys too. So that there you go. So that's what I was saying. See how Tether's starting to push down? We need Tether down here. And then your longs will go quite long. Like this. Because look, Tether's got a lot of room to short. ETH has a lot of room to go long. I would be looking at ETH and altcoins more so than Bitcoin. Crypto folks, you may get new longs here with Tether shorting. Look at ETH and alts for bigger movement potentially. Going into a Sunday as well, or sorry, weekend. Crypto folks, so you get a lot of volatility. For the Asia Open for Saturday. It does look like the NQ is going from one of my session targets now up to the other. What's that? US 30s tagged both of those for the New York. And New York has not closed below this one, so US 30 is not sure what it wants to do. But True Algo is saying the same exact thing. It's stuck in boxes. And then the ES, I mean, it's as close as you can get. It looks like it's one single tick above that 594 that I gave last night. And so now it's going to want to uptick right there. So that matches the NQ doing that right there. Just need the SQ to confirm short. You can see we're still getting a really big divergence on the NQ versus US 30, which is what I teach you guys. QQQ might flip bullish, which adds another asset to the column to be bullish, but Russell could flip bullish. So if you guys start doing the math, that'll be 1, 2, potentially 3 if this can flip. And then 4 with the NQ. 5 if the FPT confirms bearish. We'll have 5 reasons out of 7 to be in longs or looking for longs. Real quick, check the UVXY. Trying to see if the UVXY is already short, which means look for longs. It should have just hit a.
I would put a very high likelihood it will fill. Very high likelihood that will fill like Puxatani. Ain't that guy in Illinois? What's up, Devious Phil? How you doing? Took along for 29.930 done for the day. Nice, Chris. I admit it. I got 1 minute because I want to get the eval part over with. I understand. But I don't want you to have to waste money resending evaluations. I'd rather you just take it nice and slow. And the only way I want you to blow out of evals is if you just go on a losing streak, which we all do, and that's perfectly acceptable. You know, it's part of trading. But I don't want you to blow evals every day or two simply because you're positioning. That's something you can control. So you can, you know, there is a component of the market you just simply can't control. But in order to be successful, you have to control the parts you can control, which is position sizing, your emotions, trading on tilt, etc. Etc. or etc. I'm not a fancy talker, I don't know. 70 or 83% of the poll taken says that we are going to 7610 on the S&P. When I signed up for TPT, I totally forgot to provide your referral code. I guess that means I'm out of the contest. You have to go say 3 Hail Marys and sit in a corner. Oh, well, there is still time to sign up. There is still time to sign up. There is another, you could sign up for an entire week. So if you want to do another account, the issue is that that's the way they track the accounts for me. So I give them your email address and they verify all the information with the affiliate code. All right, 7610 still going. We are blasting, no shorting into this area. No shorting into this area. 7610 has 2,000 orders on the S&P sitting here. It's almost guaranteed they're going to fill it. Almost. Guaranteed is a strong word in trading, but it is almost guaranteed that they are going to fill it. Claude's pinging me. What's Claude doing here? It's updating my trading log. I'm in the process of building a trading log. I have a productivity sheet. It's building my trading.
And Q just filled the gap. Yesterday's gap. Yeah.
Nice. There we go. Still going. Climbing up right here. Beautiful stuff. ES is almost a 7610. That orange line right here is 7610. That is what we're going for. That is what we're going for. Drill, baby, drill. What are you looking at? What are you talking about? 2,000 plus drill, baby, drill. What are you talking about? Hit Alt I on your charts if you're looking at NASDAQ right now. 7610 is 65 points away, isn't it? On the S&P, yes. So another 7 points. 7610, yeah.
I've got the World Cup coming today, gonna be out early. Nice. Nice. Almost there, 7 to 10. All right, another bottom wick on the S&P still going. Like I said, it's all but guaranteed we're gonna fill up into the 7610 area. You come for tomorrow night? What's tomorrow night? More soccer? BB's got like Conor McGregor returning versus Max Holloway. Oh, cool. Nice. Would you short 7610 with one micro? If I get the signs for it, 100%. 100%. All right, Nasdaq is there 29,920. Yes, it's still 7,600 back and forth, the 2 or 3 point range, 2 or 3 point range on the S&P Nasdaq with another rejection here. Bunch of liquidity up there. I'm trying to discuss TPP with wife, but she thinks it sounds like that. How do I explain that's just another tool? Well, it's hard to explain that to people. It's a really weird thing to tell people. I'm trading a fake order book into fake orders or fake positions. And I make real money. It's weird. It doesn't sound like it's something that actually exists. But Heller, it's a leverage tool for me. Prop traders, big profit trader, all of them are a leverage tool for me. It's a tool where I can risk $50 to $100 and make multiple thousands. This week alone, I've made over $13,000. 5 trading money. So it's really, you have to explain it in terms of leverage. And then take that $13,000 and put it into a real account and those more losses, which like, but low risk, high reward. That's the profit scheme. That's 29,906, another top. Welcome. Give it a shot. Give it a shot. It's good stuff. Daily payouts. It's one of the very few prop firms that offer daily unrestricted, no payout cap payouts. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand props. Would I trade in PBTPT? Would I use a different brokerage account? Some they are not a brokerage. They are not a brokerage. That's correct. But the prop firms themselves are just a company that offers you the accounts to trade. They pay you all that kind of stuff. They give you the 1099s for you to get paid. But they give you options on which brokerages you can select. You can select Trade Evade if you want the CPG date. I'm sorry. You can select Lydia here and select from a number of different brokerage accounts like Trade Evade. I'm not certain. I'm trying to figure out our a whole bunch of crap, a whole bunch of this. So. Sometimes I've noticed several times already that liquidity pools are not over 100%. Yeah, it's definitely not 100%, but when you have, it depends on the size. If you're talking about liquidity levels like 1,000, 1,100, most of the time those are going to fill. But there's gonna be shenanigans, and that's what the market does. The market is a constant algorithm of liquidity sweep. Fill lower to go higher, fill higher to go lower, back and forth, stop, run. So not everything is always gonna be perfect. But most of the time, when you have a very heavily skewed book, it is going to fill in that direction, one way or another. And 926. Right here. Hey folks, didn't mean to post something I wouldn't do, so if I'm just hoping to start. I have the hardest time managing to drawdown. Helps me trade test account for credit are now. I'm going to the deep. Really helps out. Really posting on what that is. Just add on. There you go. I don't know what that is, but yeah, let's take a look at it. Keep it on that. So now we're kind of facing a little bit of a consolidation up here in the top. The S&P is hanging out just below the trigger. Nasdaq at 29,915. Now a prop firm for options. Ooh, that's spicy. I feel like you need to happen for trouble on that. Still going 29,940. 763. There we go. There's another bottom if you go. We're looking at the last remaining liquidity, 76 and 1,130 orders. 1,130 orders on here. See it coming up. They're almost there, 76.10. Almost there, we're 6 points away. Up to it. Beautiful stuff. There's no volume spikes to indicate a top wick. We have no top wicks yet. It says going up. Let's go to the 5 minute. You'll see it even more bullish. Absorption for higher, 76.05, 76.10. We're going for it here. Coming up. Prop firm for stock shares where you can actually have swing position would be awesome. That would be awesome. I mean, I've got a lot cooking around in the old noodle with the quad interjection here in my life. I've got so much crap in my mind, ideas that I can never do because I don't know how to do any of that stuff. And now that I've got this quad thing, I've got ideas that's coming out the wazoo. So, yeah. People are going to get smoked on film and stop it out. Yep. Yep. So many ideas that put all the hair out. We aren't you joking? Yeah. So good I was chosen to manage a 100K account for a company. I love it. I love it. Is it buyer's exhaustion? No, not yet. Not yet. Not until you start to see top risk do you not get buyer's exhaustion. You need to have the thrust higher or the attempted thrust higher with the top risk. That'll be an indication of buyer's exhaustion. We're not seeing any indication of that yet. Not yet. Bottom again. What are the long side targets for NASDAQ? NASDAQ, I'm looking for 30,000. I think we hit 30 G's today, baby. 30 G's. I would have prop firm Sim even work for order flow. It doesn't options have a lot of dark pool order. I mean, everything has dark pool orders. We have options. And then, of course, you've got the common that are traded off the books. But I've seen people that have their mic on and just talk to Claude or other AIs and do a brain dump and build everything for them. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's crazy. There's good, to me, I was talking about this with a wife last night because I've been elbow deep in this thing for 2 days now. I'm brand new to this. And the amount of usage I've already used in 2 days for me, just doing stuff, learning how to crawl with this stuff. But there's people who are phenomenally way smarter than I am doing this all day, every day. The energy and the resources used to maintain it, I don't know how it's sustainable. It's got to be using an unbelievable amount of resources. And I don't know how it's sustainable. There's got to be a consequence to what we're doing because this is truly unbelievable. It's blowing my mind seeing what this thing can possibly do. I've built like 10 websites. I'm creating productivity tools, trading logs, things. I mean, you see the server different. Everything you see on the server this morning, all created with Claude in about 20 minutes. The capabilities of this is unreal. And there's going to be a negative consequence for it. And it's just insane. It's absolutely insane. The capabilities of this are extraordinary. And if you don't learn how to use it, you're going to get left behind. There's no way you can keep up without learning how to do this. But there's going to be a consequence. Still coming up here. We're looking like absorption. You know how I know it looks like absorption? Rejection, 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 rejection. But the rejections are weaker and weaker and weaker. So we have a bit of a trading, a bullish triangle forming. Where once we absorb, you're going to see a pepperoni with cheese coming up. Why did you make 10 websites? Well, one, to test it and try it out. Number two is because I've got ideas for all these products. That's multiplicated and other ventures, my other LLCs and businesses that I run, and other ideas that I'm going to create. I'm just creating stuff like that. After dark content. That's yeah. Cool. All right, still all right. All right. So look, here's my trading log right here. Like, it works. I implemented the trades I've taken this week. There's still a lot I need to fix. Matrix data. I like matrix data. But then simple graphic view.
Oh, there it goes. Didn't trail it.
Need a push? Try to.
All I had to do was trail that position.
I'm back and forth right here. I'm back and forth. Make something happen. Make something happen.
Shift on a limit order.
That's right. That's right. I know. Now the bottom look again. Let's go to the 15-minute. You have top wicks on the 15-minute showing where we have rejected now. many times in the past. So the longer we stay here, the less hope the Bears have. This is absorption. The longer the Bulls keep it, that protection. I said that exact thing to Mrs. But I spent a lot of time perfecting Excel and making like an Excel sheet for finances and everything. Pointless. You can have it done in about 10 seconds. 29,950, another bottom wick. How many times are they going to absorb before we blast it to 30,000? Get your screenshots ready. Get your screenshots ready. 30,000, baby.
Options guy was right. The buyers were absorbing all these short orders.
That's actually got pretty high. Silver, still huge. Beautiful. That really see bounce. The Dow is getting wrecked, following down like a quick 2.744. If you want to see getting wrecked, small caps and underperformers and emerging markets are getting wrecked. Right now, it seems to be only tech that's rallying at the moment. Well, that's not true. Don't see doesn't do the rallying here too. Just the small caps are not doing that. Quad ran my entire year to date P&L after I fired my bookkeeper last year in about 1.5 hours. Yep. I got so aggravated with my accountant this year that I'm literally using Quad to create my own tax account, so I don't have to pay tax account anymore. I'm determined not to pay a single penny in accounting from ever again. When I first started with Quad back in December, I didn't sleep more than a few hours a night the first month. I did so excited. Dude, I love it in the same way. Yeah. That will not work. I will be determined to make it work. Not that difficult. There's no need to be 27-year-old $2,500 for your taxes. I guarantee it. There's no way. I'm up 98 basis points a day the last 5 days. I'm waiting for a daily high volume to take a trade. Anything wrong with that? No, not at all. I'm a fan of waiting more and doing less until you see exactly what you need to see. Big fan of it. Right now, you're looking for higher. I'm looking for 30,000 on NASDAQ and 70% on the S&P. Wait for it. Respectfully say it to the IRS catch make a big mistake. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to file it until it's fact checked. Yeah, but my goal is I'm at least going to try it. I'm at least going to try it. Remember, I was an accountant. I have an accounting degree, so I know the basic understanding of the whole business. Although I'm not, it's been a while since I've been out here. 100%. Have you been working with Claude yet? I'm making a 3C. I have, yes. In fact, I've got one in the very basic stages. I gotta perfect it. I'm doing what's called vibe coding. I have no idea how to do any coding. I'm just telling it what I want. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Make some progress on how-to videos on the stuff you're building. We're drawing lots of YouTube subs. So you can put it in. Ooh, okay. Really? I mean, I didn't think people would want to see that. It's a good idea. This is a great example where your patient provides me with a learning moment. I would have closed out my S&P already. 100%, I understand. It's very tempting to close out on all these back and forths, especially when you have all this space down below. You have all this space down here. It's very scaly for the retail trader. But what I'm looking at and what a lot of retail traders miss is the lows. Where are the lows? The lower the price action will tell you what's going on here. You have all these lows that are trending higher, and we're sticking. The more we stick to the point, the more the odds, not guaranteed, the more the odds are. And we're just going to have one more trip up. And then when we do start spiking higher, immediately my eyes go to the bottom. My eyes go right down to the bottom to determine what am I doing here. If I see a volume spike when we break out, that's where I'm going to play the rejection. Or if we see a volume spike before we get up to those areas, then I'll play the rejection. And of course, you want to protect your investment with trailing stops or, with some sort of structural stop. What OM said about wanting to eliminate the book profession is unsettling. The thing is, though, dude, our country, America, we kind of have that situation where we've created millions of jobs just for the sake of creating millions of jobs. There's many jobs out there that's not actually needed. And I think it's to perpetuate the 9 to 5 time frame, clock in and clock out, go to an office. So AI is going to take away all those jobs right there. It's going to have to. Not to mention all the other jobs that are just easily prompted. I mean, it's just someone like me who knows nothing about this stuff, being this efficient with AI, someone who's actually capable, it's going to be dangerous. It's going to be dangerous. So that is the future. Audible direction of these agents to implement a simple and repeatable scalable system of amounts necessary. Yes, sir. All right, there is a volume spike right there at 10:15, but that is a bottom-like volume spike. I've been at an F200 multinational for 18 years. The number of redundant employees is staggering. It's everywhere, man, in every industry, in every company. Like half the gov, So now NASDAQ has added liquidity up to 30,000. 9 to 5 has been cursed since inception. It's a recent cultural invention that doesn't select how humans are wired to operate. I said back in March that I started that people have 6 to 24 months to save their jobs. After 4 months, I still believe in 21 months to become a job. It's so complicated. I'm a believer, man. After seeing what I've done the past week, I'm a believer. If half the workforce eliminated, where are you going to get consumers? No, I mean, you're right, man. There's a lot of articles that are both bullish and bearish for the economy and the jobs market with AI. They're interesting to read, and who knows what's going to happen. I mean, there was articles back in 1997 saying the internet is a fad, it's never going to catch on. And, obviously that didn't work out. So, I mean, you never know. All right, another bottom right here. We're still holding the highs. There's no lower lows. So right now, your 3C short opportunity at the moment needs to break 29,905.15 right here. And all these orange lines up top, these are your pivots from the past couple of days right here. That's where I'm drawing those lines. Every time we pivoted, I've drawn a line. You can see why we're stuck here. Sometimes the easiest thing is simply look left. That's the easy stuff. When you wake up in the morning, you're grabbing coffee, your espresso, get your scone, and you're going to look left. That's the easy stuff. That'll save you from logging into a high until we get this absorption. Right here. The S&P is right here, 7,600. Again, if you look at the book map, you've got 7,610 on the S&P and 30,000 here on NASDAQ, which is only about 70 points higher. Not much on NASDAQ. We're stuck. We're in the grind zone. We have 2,000 lots sitting 7,610. That is a very large amount of liquidity on the S&P. We're almost there.
A modern soccer stadium has over 700 miles of fiber optic cable, improving every detail of the game experience. For example, 85% of NCAA fans have abandoned purchase due to long lines, but AI facial recognition and cashless point-of-sale systems help shorten lines and keep data safe. These solutions depend on reliable and secure connectivity from AT&T Business, because the game may end when the whistle blows. The words last a lot longer.
It's Friday the 10th. This is what's going on. Japan wants its pension money back. SK Hynix raises lots of cash in America, and Andy Burnham looks certain, Lizzie, to be the UK's next Prime Minister.
Well, happy Friday, guys. Here's how all of that's playing out in the markets this morning. The SK Hynix listing in the US lifting sentiment on the Kospi this morning, up nearly 4% as things stand. But the action in Japan really notable as that money from the pension funds is being pulled back, or will be pulled back eventually to Japan. The yen lifted off multi-decade lows and a boost for JGB yields.
Down. Right now, we see staples and mutes going, so they're still doing defensive posturing. Materials still going intraday, so we're still seeing that defensive posturing, which again is normally not tech rally. That can change. You finally see if Russell can reverse out or it's going to extend into shorts, arguing into longs. Yeah, we're looking for this right here. That to do that. See if the RDM can do its job now. Euro could get into longs here in 6 minutes, but DXY will not produce shorts, so the longs will be valid on the euro. See if the pound also is going to say, trying to see if there's a box right here that's flipping long. Daily beacon. I don't think there is a box here. If it is, it's going to be a weekly box, not a daily box. Yep, told you. Yeah, so Forex folks, it's going to be a nothing now for us. Crypto folks, you can see Tether did not close below and therefore pushed back up. You can see crypto pushing back down now. Silver's tapped at 60.255 once again. Oil folks, you again, if you waited, you'll have a potential better entrance here in 6 minutes. Stocks are still not sure what they want to do. Russell's back to the initial entrance area. Again, we want to RWM to do its job, man. Just power that Russell up. QQQ potentially reload bullish, which is a positive for us. That SPY hurting. We did tap my 15-minute session line on the ES and holding bullish. We want things to hold bullish right now so that that Russell play can win out. Retesting them.
VIX. Again, another asset that's opposite of the index features is potentially loading into longs, which means we would be looking for shorts. That's a negative for what we're watching right now. On the Russell side of things, it's a positive for the ES, but it means the Russell's going to pay for it. Trying to see if he's hit a box down. It was close to it, but I don't think it hit it. That's still good. Yeah, you get expired, still good too. Chopping up still, tearing at our heartstrings. Might have swing longs again on BXY, change swing shorts on lots other Forex pairs. Oil, oil should come all the way down to 69 next week. Russell's still holding. Little engine not good right now. All my older folks out there. Few minutes from the close. This will be a close across the board. Russell holding and watch that RWM do its job. Trading will show all your demons. Silver with a really nice move up now off that session line, so it should propel through. Again, oil's gonna have a slightly better entrance here. Does look like the stop would probably still have to be extended a little further, but the better entrance now for oil. Bill, you're probably not gonna like what I say now, but if you're worried now about losing, what you can do is, from a educational standpoint only, is like you can take some of those contracts now and peel some of them off. If you're worried about losing a potential specific amount, you don't have to take all of them out. You can take some of them out. You could move everything to break even and just let it roll. At least now it can go from being a potential loss, but now just to being a break even play and then managing your emotions. RDMM is now short, which should help support the long that we have on Russell. SPQQ did hold short, which means we should be looking for longs. US 30 almost got in longs, but yeah, I'll toss it over on this Russell play. Yes, I agree. Sorry with my awkward. I want to get off the stream, but I want to keep showing you see this RWM and Russell play can play out live. We've been live now for 90 minutes. I appreciate you guys hanging out. And I know the Discords or the bunch of you guys are on Discord, not all of you guys on the YouTube side. Just over here making awkward noises. Gonna find awkward musical things in the background here. What? Ooh, something. I don't know what just happened. What did someone just say or do? What? Let me know what was. I'm guessing it's a tweet by Trump. I'm not trying to be political. I just don't know. There's no other news event on the 33rd minute mark. Stocks didn't move very much. Yep, gold and silver followed it too. And oil, it's an Iran thing. 100% has to be an Iran thing. Or let's go with 99%. Let me know what you guys see on the news front. On the news. Stuff like that. But that was not normal. See it again. One of the frustrating things is like so focused on the Russell idea that US 30 and if you were ball before was short and then that was a sniper trade. They're trying to scare people out of it. I just don't know what the news was. X. Yeah, I don't see anything just yet. Let me know if you guys see anything. Unfortunate. Microsoft shorts finished playing out. Nvidia's still holding. They're still holding the wick really well. The wick still sucks, you know what I mean? But they're all still holding. I just want to know what it was. Such a big wick on oil. Whatever it was, guys, that's not normal. I can't stress that. I can't stress that enough. You can't hold that against you. Excuse me. All right, folks. The now that happened, and now those plays are all dead, we would be 8.5 minutes away from potential shorts on SPY and Q. Russell's going to be neutral. ES played out. The NQ is still going to be bullish. We'll see if the wick holds. US 30 is now done. By the way, US 30, remember what I was saying about going, doing that? Not trying to keep credit of it, but the other one is I gave you guys one more line bearish. And I just hit it and cleared it. That was wicked. It's one of those things like if you didn't have a stop set, by the way, you should always have stop set. And then you come back like, hey man, what happened? You know what I mean? Like it doesn't affect you, so to speak. I would imagine that it's some type of Iran news, and I'm saying that because of oil, gold, and silver. So it's always something. I mean, we're almost all the way back to the initial entrance zone on the Russell play now. Obviously, it sucks. We can't control stuff like that. The only thing we can control is our risk parameters. That's why that matters so much. Yeah, and that's what sucks too. Like literally watch this New York session go bullish too. That's again, you can't control that. Like what we just saw doesn't happen normally in markets ever, guys. It's not something that you can predict is gonna happen. And it's just hilarious that like if I would have went like sometimes I'll be on these live streams with you guys and we're waiting for stuff. And so like all this coffee or something, I had my coffee ahead of time. And I would have come back and like, huh, that week was crazy. And then would have moved on like we're still in it. But right now, that's not the same story because we were here live together and crazy wick on everything and right back to where we started. Gnarly, right?
All right. We got 3 trades today. Plus 737. One on the Russell here. Just a terrible entry. And then 2 on the NQ. Just some micro scalps on the tick charts. Yeah. That's all we can do. Okay, not get the premium on that short. Slowly chipping away at this.
stocks are starting to sell a little bit more with Apple and Amazon.
Oh, now Russell's going down. Oh, jeez.
Nvidia.
I
calls
need
still
to see the wicks. Yeah, it looks like
So-
tell you everything here.
Gold trying to fight a trend.
Oh man.
And crypto folks, longs are still trying to their best to hold. I mean, the whole market's still trying to hold longs, but no confirmation.
I'm gonna try to be cheeky with the tick charts.
And new sets of longs.
It just moved too quick. There's that wick. There's the wick. Would have been a premium at that
That was
wick to short
a
that.
little bit annoying.
Maybe could have trailed it. Already down. It's already down.
You guys see me before when I was talking about like
Way down.
protecting your ideas. It's things like that where like
45
if you
ticks.
think about every single time you've been stopped out because you're being overprotective of your ideas. Not like closing quick wins because you can't hold. I just mean like you are constantly moving your stop to break even to protect yourself. I talked to you guys about like that Russell play once it moved up, that the potential of protecting. This is one of those times where you're like, I wish I would have protected myself. Because if you closed it down here, then remember it pushed all the way back up, it's going to frustrate the living hell out of you. But for every time that you get stopped out earlier and it frustrates you, you can avoid things like this, and it becomes a natural way of trading because your stops are there to protect you. It ain't always going to feel good when it happens though. But please do not evaluate your ability to trade on whatever just happened. And if any of you guys see what happened news-wise, let me know. I don't see anything yet on my feed.
I get the gamma level, respected it to the T. And this is their dealer's hedge.
2 minutes from the close. SPY and Q are now no longer looking for new shorts. They didn't close below the box, or they're not below the box to close for the shorts. And then everything else is potentially going to flip long, but it's neutral because you can't go long on a red candle. So we're in a nothing state. You want to give Russell another chance. RWM is short and Russell still in that box, still holding the boxes lower, so it's still a sniper entry. Just make sure, I'm laughing not because I think it's funny, I'm just talking about the news. Just make sure you're protective of your stop. There we go. Could wait another 15-minute candle too, rather than jumping into it now. By the way, DXY did go higher, like I was telling you guys, which caused the euro to go lower. The euro also cleared an old target by True Algo in this beacon. I wonder if they're doing that just to push the dollar back higher. And then True Algo members, really quick on the DXY, my swing longs got activated again. That we posted on Sunday night right here is what we want from a swing perspective. And we did get down into my box and True Algo's weekly box, still trying to hold the monthly blue bullish as well. But maybe that's why they did it, is you need a strong dollar. Just all the way back up there. Russell literally back where we entered. It is what it is, man. All right, folks, there's a close. I've been on with you guys for an hour and 45 minutes. I appreciate you hanging out with me today. Bill, now listen real quick. This is important because I just saw what you posted. If you just now got out of Russell and you didn't lose on that wick here, you like, yes or no? Is that what you did? That you now are getting out, which means you're out pretty much a break even area? Yes or no? I gotta wait for him to answer that question. I'll be jumping off. Okay, Bill, do you I know you're usually like self-deprecating. You and I've talked about this a lot about your trading. Do you understand like if one, that's dangerous that like this didn't take you out. But this is one of the better things about Russell because Russell is cheaper per tick. None of us caused this wick that just happened or whatever that was. But the fact that you just now are getting out and it didn't destroy you on every facet of what can be in trading, that's a huge win. I know you're not going to take it like that, but just make sure one always protect yourself. But if you're getting out now, and by the way, if you said the emotions are bothering you too much and you're getting out, that's perfectly fine. But maybe next time if you're worried that like, well, watch this, because I know how you are. As soon as I close this, it's gonna push up for a win because guess what, guys, I'm out. If you ever feel like that, then just close 75. You said you had 4 micros in there, then just close 3 out of 4. Set the stop here at the average stop loss point, and just close your computer and move on about your day. Just make sure you set a take profit above it too. That way, you have a 25% chance. I'm laughing because I know the self-deprecating that we all are. That way, 25% of you could be right, 75% of you could be wrong in that instance. All right, man. That was like a good old FOMC day type stuff. We want more volatility, man, but not like that it was on the 33rd minute that it happened, and it was just going that right there. 33rd minute. Literally reversed it almost in 2 to 3 minutes. It reversed 50% of the move, a little bit more. And then within 4 minutes, completely back to where it was. All right, man. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Watch for updates this week.
From homes to hospitals to businesses, North Carolina's data centers are unlocking a smarter power grid for our communities. They're investing.
I like seeing the chat win. I'm just happy I recovered that. That's thing. I mean, after that's 1,700 down to 75, and that's a 33-point drop there. I only lost $40 on that. Oh, I'll take that for that. That's gonna make it so I can make a short start screaming. Because usually when that happens, if you're doing a flow review and I'm watching, and my shit starts on the screen. Yeah, what a short flow review. I don't think we're gonna top that in any. The chat whooped our asses on that one. Yeah, look at that, dude. All right, I'm gonna shut the fuck up about it. It's over. It's been played out. We do have a couple of contract requests as well, and we got plenty of time. What do you got? Oracle 157.5 foot for today. Did this whale? And he had these contracts. If they rode, do they think it's local bottom? If they roll, they anticipate more downside. I hope this homie was short. You said for today, correct? Yeah. 710, 157.5. Go back through the history. He's probably talking about a former fill. Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. I was gonna. Ooh, there it is. Found it. Yeah, 334 up to 17. I think he's fine. So what's trading at? They're 12% of their money right now. Oh, homie, I wouldn't be surprised if you see the expired. The open interest drop off. I would not be surprised. Yeah, we're at 140. Yeah, we're at 140. I would not be surprised. Just like when you see calls expire in the money, you can be fairly certain they've exercised those calls and bought shares. This is the flip side of that. If there's no volume that transacts today, a likelihood is they've exercised and have sold their shares for 157.5. Same thing, just on the downside instead of the upside, like calls. That's what I'm anticipating. I expect this to expire in the money, no volume transaction. That's what I'm projecting for it. They're probably going to sell it. Yeah, sell the 157 probably. Yeah, that's what was it trading at when the 1,000 contracts came? like 5 minutes. 179. Yeah. Yeah, that's a trade and a half. Yeah, that's
Fucking all right then.
12% of their money at the time. So they got,
Maybe
maybe
they
12%.
take a little profit out of it. Back near the highs on it, and honestly, it could have been a little bit protected as well. What trading that high? Why wouldn't they? Why wait for after the fall?
I'm trying to do a little.
Because remember, puts, buy a put, you have the right to sell at that price. But this was trading at almost 180, so I do wonder if something happened. Keep an eye on that. If something happens, we'll speak about it.
I would,
It's
1,000. Let me do a little math. Oh, not geez, I have the calendar.
let's do a little
Jeez,
calendaring.
Let's do a little math. So
Hey,
I'm just
appreciate
gonna say
that,
1,000.
Hicks. Thanks for coming, homie.
I'm gonna say 1,000 contracts just to make it easier. So if they're selling them at 157, we're at about $17 a share right now. And 17, so 17,000. Yeah, I would probably, sell the contracts. These rates. More up to, yeah, I mean, you're getting a better return if you're selling the contracts versus actually selling shares there. Geez. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, let's I will actually take a look at it maybe Monday.
Yeah, we'll follow it.
Yeah,
And if I notice an exit, I'm working on that.
all right, let me just throw this in our little chatty chat. Oh boy, man, I'm still feel like I could like hand out something, man.
Replit removes the complexity that makes the download the soft fusion will be hard. I love to use this analogy where
I basically only short, and I saw it there, but not like that. That was straight up blue, spiking that shit down. Why that was. But you got 150%. Just know, even though it made more in the short term, that balance also happened in seconds. You could have just as well gone back to break even or a loss that same 10. 115% is a massive win. That option, if anything, as much as you see people posting all over Twitter, 1,000%, 50,000%, those are by far and beyond outliers. A lot of luck because 115% win on an option contract is an outlier. Made a banger trade. Don't worry about that. 150%.
Yeah, that's
good.
phenomenal. Do not, don't downplay that. I mean, I personally look for like 20-25%, and that's a phenomenal trade there. It's the marketing that messes with people's heads. Hey, you gotta make 300% on this trade.
We don't do that all
Yeah, and
check. Morning, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. And they should be good to go for a continuation. If not, then the market's, flipping back to bearish there. So we'll see. We have the 30-minute candle here, closing in 6 minutes then. So this guy will start bouncing further. 5-minute chart kind of flip here, so it's very important that we start to bounce or the momentum is there. So the final 5 minutes, the bulls need a breakout here, they need a bounce, they need to end that if not, then we get the split momentum back down. So we'll see how this 5-minute candle reacts here. We'll see how this reacts here on the close.
So you have about 5 minutes, for that 30 minute candle to close. It's very important platform, right? Is getting. If I can ask one of comes out, it's very important. Yeah. Close into the head very easy level where I'm not in the bottom. So then level. So with that make or break now, you know, we need to start counts. Yeah. Big against the market right now. It's at make or break. If it bounces here, then not to the bottom. Yeah. So we'll see how this reacts. You know, the bulls need to fucking they need to break above 7.52. You know, they do that, should be good to go. Everything should be looking hot for new highs. You know, that's what the bulls will need to do is break above 7.52. So we're sitting at May for break. You can see right here, this was the support, big move to the upside. This is previous resistance, starts to go low, if it holds, it starts to break out. So, you know, right in between that crunch there. But yeah, on a 30 minute, you can get the next 30 minute candle to flip green. You know, we can have a green, red, green for continuation of the breakout. But yeah, it's really important that we start to hold these levels and break out. We've already dropped, you know, a decent amount very quickly. So it's very important that it starts to bounce and break out next 30 minutes. So yeah, we'll see how it reacts, man. So the close was not good. We did not get bullish close, so that's not good. So we're definitely gonna need some sort of bullish open here, some sort of bullish bounce. Most people this react. Yeah, this is not looking good at all. You know, this is not looking so hard. So we'll see if this can quickly flip on a 30 minute open. It could. Right now it's not looking the best, but it could flip quickly too. So we'll see how the 30 minutes opens up here. We 30 minutes up here. You know, if we can start to break above 2002, it should be good for a higher phase effect. This is like new break right now. You know, this is a new break. All right, so guys, it's going to be very important. You know, in terms of the reaction here right now, kind of dropping. So yeah, we'll see, man. This level right here. This is another level. Yeah, this level here.
Now it's going up.
So probably the max pain would be like right around there, in between here. But look, if we can just hold right around here, it should be good for an overall reversal in your highs. So you'll see the 30 minute candle just for screen. That's what we need. We definitely need that. Basically, we need this to break above here. So foolish right around. we need it to break there. If it starts to break out there and hold, we'll get further continuation for new highs on a break above 7. So we'll see, how this reacts. 4-hour candle is polar as well. So I do like how the higher time frame are considered bullish, but there are some conflicting signals that still get the chart. But yeah, the 4-hour chart, it does say that, and this is, it's a little fucked up. It's so many bullish and bearish signals. It's kind of that way. There's too many and there's really bullish and there's so much conflicting. But yeah, max pain would be right around that zone, 750. This shit needs to break out quick, or it's just gonna kind of die out instead of rippling later. So this is very important. But yeah, it's very good when you pay this level. If you hold it, still looking good. If not, then it's more likely being out. 11 a.m. Close game if you're trying to switch hands to the market is kind of crash and then recovery. And then it dropped back down, it's breaking retest zone, and now it's like, it's trying to be out to very on that high over on. So up for more bearish momentum comes in. So gold in the check out. If not, then it's not another. But yeah, this is make or break. The Bulls need to fucking flip this shit green, or it's gonna pop off the cliff and make it a lot more difficult to be buying calls until later in the day at higher levels. So, this shit is right in the middle of that. We gotta start like reversing this shit for it to work. It's gotta start to like, get to that 751.50 level, push above there. And if not, then we drop here. So yeah, the Bears are really trying to pressure. So this has been quite the battle on a 30-minute open so far. They're both trying to take it. Now the Bulls, yes. See, that's like when something like that happens. So look, we had some time there. Quite the battle. When something like that happens, that's a good sign. But before I see that, let me see the 1 minute. Yes, I mean that's favorable good signs for Bulls, but it needs to continue quickly when something like that happens. If so, then that's favorable signs that we can get this breakout to new highs within time. But it needs to continue. If it gets like, have to write that down, then it doesn't mean much. So this shit is just major fucking breaking right now. Yeah, up in lower highs, man. Up in lower highs, shit. It's fucking here. Right now. But yeah, it's like, dude, spike this shit. Yeah, dude, this is their spot. Like, fucking Bears doing in the shit right now. If this shit can't rip in like 2 minutes, dude, the Bears are just gonna fucking take this shit again. Fucking it. So, we'll see. Like, a couple more minutes here. Yeah, Bears.
This is Arby's cheesesteak with 100% Angus steak and melty Cooper cheese. Some say it's meat and cheese done right. And some people don't say anything because frankly, it's rude to talk with your mouth full. The meat.
Still trying to the green, that's why I like it. I'm looking at the chart. It's like the Bulls are trying to the screen. It could be one of those things where it's like either on the drops first, the drop low,
flips finally bullet. Like the true colors could be bullet, but the shit really needs to break above 750 on 50. You know, you need to break above that. Man, I feel like it wants to flip, but there's a lot of weight and pressure. Like there's the biggest problem is there's coming all resistance, and then there's a fucking free fall here with this way. So those are the biggest problems with calls right now. This shit is just fucking lower high for lower high for lower high. Yeah. So this shit needs to really start down, or it's just gonna keep on going lower and lower and lower. But look, guys, I'm gonna kind of hold this out. You know, I'm just gonna kind of hold this out here. Dude, like, if this can't break out here, then the Bears are gonna fucking wreck this shit. Like, the Bulls need to break out here, or the Bears are gonna send us to 750 very quickly. So the Bulls need to show the fuck up. This is their opportunity. If they want to show up with this Bull is, this is their time. They don't need that. Otherwise, it's just forming lower high to lower high. But I do remember something like this happening where like it kind of gets shot and look ugly, and then it looks very good as for a higher breakout. It's one of the reasons I'm building train. It's just now we're finally, now the trend is trying to put forward the third point back. So like these ones and trying to put force here because it's breaking above the lower high. The previous lower high is at 751. Now it's trying to break above the lower highs, which is good. So now all we have to do is just either A, continue to go up, or B, just holds the previous resistance 751 or higher support here and then continue to break out, or it just keeps on breaking out and we'll fucking pair that in the high. So this is good, so look, it's just breaking out right now. So this is going to be extremely difficult for the Bears to just drop right back down. The Bulls just made it very difficult. All they need to do is hold these levels and continue to push, so the Bulls just made it extremely difficult for the Bears to continue that downtrend. But based off the pattern I've seen, I remember something like this where it went like that and then it was pushed higher and high. So this is likely the bottom. This was likely bottomed out right here, and then it was like, consolidate and then continue to break out, consolidate, and break out. So then go back, break out. So I'm kind of convinced that was the bad. I think we got the bottom there. Now, the ends of the top